Hello and good day, fellow developers. My name is Warwick Weston Wright. I'm an Android developer, and I've just finished a really cool open source gesture library for the Android platform. When I finish this video, I'll be publishing the video along with the location of the Bitbucket repository where you can find it. Start out by showing you magic, all four gestures working together at the same time: fling, move, pinch, scale, and rotate. By going like this, as you can see, they're all working simultaneously. I can fling there, and that will fling down to the edge of the screen, or I can capture it in the middle of fling. There you go, it's pretty cool. You can turn these on and off in any order, turn the fling off, and then obviously it doesn't fling. I can just say, for example, move and scale, like so. I can move and rotate, like so. Or I can scale and rotate. You can use these in any order, so I'm not going to bore you with all the things, but they do work in all the orders. All of these gestures actually have configurable flags, and I'll show you how these can be configured. Here we are on the fling. That will actually fling to the edge there. You've got settings here. So this is the fling tolerance here. That means I have to move my finger 100 pixels, release it in 500 milliseconds or less for a fling to be triggered. And then once triggered, the animation will last 2000 milliseconds. Obviously, that's all configurable there. You've got fling off edge there, so that will fling off of the edge. Now, the edges aren't actually hard-coded into the app. The metrics is actually figured out for you by the actual library itself. So we'll fling to the nearest corner. That'll fling to the nearest corner. And of course, you can fling not off the edge to the nearest corner, and that'll go to the corner without going off of the screen. And same with the fling squares, that'll fling in a straight line or to the nearest edge that you flung to. So that's all pretty straightforward there. Now I'm going to demonstrate the scale. There we go here, simple scale, nice and simple. And you've got some settings here, use min-max scale, which is actually already on. So that's clipping at 1.5 to minus 1.2. So that'll go up to 1.5 there. And it will clip there. And then it will clip down, clip at 0.2 and stop there. Bring up the settings. We'll go 85. That's scale snapping there. So that will actually snap there, as you can see. So we'll put that back to 0 for the time being, like so. Then we'll go to the move gesture. This has got a few behaviors as well. I'll show you non-cumulative move. That moves directly to where my finger goes down, moves from there. You've got cumulative, which moves relative to the touch. You've got move snapping there. That will snap there. Now the snap points obviously are hard-coded into this app for this. But you can have as many snap points as you want, and each snap point can have its own snap tolerance, so which is quite cool. Obviously the move snapping works there with the non-cumulative move. So we'll go back here. Now I'm going to show you the rotate behavior. Rotate's got lots and lots of behavioral flags. At the moment it's in two-finger mode. See, won't rotate with one finger, only rotate with two. Put in single-finger mode. That'll rotate with single finger. It's got a little fling to spin behavior there. Again, the fling tolerances for the fling to the spin the same as the fling gesture that I just showed you, with 100 pixels, 500 milliseconds or less, and the animation lasts 2000 milliseconds. Again, all configurable. These zeros here, these numbers here, that's the start spin speed and the end spin speed. You can play around those values, but when they're both 0, the speed will actually be relative to the actual gesture itself. So, for example, I'll show you that. If I fling slowly, if I fling fast, it flings fast. Min-max constraint, that's obvious, just clips how many times you can rotate and stops at the minimum boundaries and the maximum boundary. Scale snapping. These numbers here are expressed in ratios of 0 to 1 rather than 0 to 360, so that represents 45 degrees, that's 1/4 of that. So we'll go here. So that will cause it, you'll notice it's rotating freely between snaps there. The freely between snaps is to do with that number there, so you can play around with those numbers. But if this number is 50% or more of this number, then there will be no free rotations between snaps. At the moment, you'll notice for every one time I rotate my finger, the texture rotates once, and when I rotate to the right, you've got the numbers at the one saying +1 and then -1 when I rotate the other way. So keeps track of how many rotations you've made and the direction of rotation. So that was cumulative dial. If I take off of cumulative dial, I put my finger down, it rotates directly to where the angle, my finger goes down and rotates from there. And then what you've seen before, obviously, is cumulative dial there, which I showed you before. Now, I'm going to show you precision rotation, that's 0.5. That will cause the texture to rotate at half the rate of the gesture, so I have to rotate my finger twice for every one time that rotates. That could be any number, including a negative number. there's a little play on that there, which is variable down. This varies the precision of the rotation depending on how close you're rotating to the center. Again, feel free to play around with these numbers. So what will happen there, it'll rotate slow to the outside and then speed up to the inside, which is what these numbers do here. So that's all quite straightforward there. So we'll leave that in single finger mode for the time being, and I will go back to all gestures at the same time now. At the moment, all gestures are turned on, but you'll notice the rotate's not working. That's because rotate is in single finger mode and move is active. So they're both, there's two one finger gestures going on there, and move has priority. So if I want to rotate that, I have to turn the move on, then it'll rotate there. And you can actually fling, and both flings will actually happen at the same time, which I think is pretty cool. If I turn that on, then obviously then the move will fling instead of the fling rotate. So that's how that works. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to quickly show you how the gestures work together with the behavioral flags. I'm not going to go through every combination because I'll bore you to death. So we'll put that in dual finger for test purposes. Actually, we'll put the angle snapping on, like so. So it's a angle snapping there. I'm going to go to the pinch scale, and I'm going to put this back to, I don't know, say 85. So got some move snapping there. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to show you these working together again. So as you can see, the scale is snapping and move and rotate, snapping all at the same time there. So pretty cool. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'll thank you very much for watching this demonstration video. I hope you use my library. I hope you find it useful. When you do go to Bitbucket, you'll find a little donate button there. So if you're feeling generous, you can donate to the open source cause, which will give me free time to improve the library and make some other cool free stuff for you to use. So I will bid you farewell, and thank you ever so much for watching my video.